Yes, any question? If no, then say no. Yes, Mohammed said no.
No, sir.
Sridhar said no.
No, sir.
Okay, Shardul said no. Pranita said no. Rahul said no. Vaibhavi said no. Yes, Mayuri said no. Be fast to reply. You should be responsive. No, it is just a testing whether you are alert or not. Whether your only mobiles are present or you also are there and you are attentive there. That is the only test. Yeah, Faiz said no. Okay, let us see how many of you have completed the assignments. So it's a classwork. Two assignments only are there. Yesterday's assignment I had not posted. Today I will post both yesterday's assignment and today's assignment. What I am finding? No more difference compared to yesterday. Still 16 are there. They have not yet completed first assignment. Who are they? Manasi, Suyash, Pranita, Anushri, Kalpesh, Pari, Mohammad, Gandhar, Gopal, Prathamesh, Sanika, Nupur, Sujan, Narayan, and Faiz. These have not completed the first assignment. Bhupesh, yesterday I told that only you have to do sign in, only you have to press the button sign in. Automatically your assignment will come in third in session. Same problem was there for the Purva, but she did correction. So students, I want to know up to when you will complete this. Okay, Mohammed said today he will complete. I want further two replies at least. Pranita said tomorrow she will complete. At least one more reply. Okay, Faiz said tomorrow will complete. Purva also said second assignment till tomorrow Purva will complete. Okay. About the second assignment, let me move. Assignment 2. See, by the way, yesterday's assignment is that's assignment number 3. Today's assignment will be there. That's assignment number 4. So assignments will go on increasing. And by the way, daily, if I give you the lecture, then how will you cope up with the situation? Therefore, just I am alarming you. Just I am giving information to instruction to yes, be alert and be regular. Yes, similar students are there. Those have not completed. Sanskriti, I think, is additional 1 year. Okay, all you have to complete. So be regular. Next week, I don't want a single student who has a assignment incompletion. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Next week means up to next lecture, that's Tuesday's lecture. I want that all you should complete the assignment. This assignment number 1, assignment number 2, assignment number 3, assignment number 4. At least these assignments, Mr. 4th will be the today's assignment. You have to complete them. Okay, it is my simple
Yes, sir.
expectation. About that, if you have any doubt, any question, you are free to ask. But once decided, you have to accomplish that. You have to complete that. Now let us come to the syllabus. Syllabus of paper 2. Paper 1, already I had a discussion yesterday. That was our main concern yesterday. Today, let me talk about the paper 2 Unit 2 syllabus. Unit 2 means inorganic chemistry. It's a semester 1, paper 2. Let's see. Our unit number 2 here is about comparative chemistry of main group elements. It is the only large topic. Who are the main group elements? Which properties especially we are studying? That we will see. Yesterday I told you whatever the notion generally people do carry, periodic table is divided into 4 parts: S block, P block, D block, and F block. This notion is no more applicable. Means scientifically it is not so perfect because the definition of those block element is not applying for all. Problems are there. Therefore, people understood their classification as the first main group elements, about which we are discussing this year. Second, transition series elements, which are in between, so-called S and P block elements. And third, inner transition elements, so-called F block element. So these are the 3 main ways of the classification: main group, transition group or transition series element, and inner transition series element. This study of main group you will do at first year level. Study of transition elements you will do at second year level, and study of this inner transition elements at third year level. About this main group also few portion you will not complete completely, that you will study second year. So I can say that the main group element study is in FY and SY, and transition element at SY you are studying inner transition at TY, means lanthanoids and actinoids that you are going to study. Why for these things are there in your syllabus? Because periodic table is a backbone of inorganic chemistry. What are the chemicals we find here and there? What are the molecules we realize? What are the formulae are there? Those are made up from these elements in the periodic table. Student, I need your help. Will you answer how many elements are there in the periodic table? This periodic table.
118.
Right. I also answered that, and rightly the student has catched that. Yes, may I know who has answered this question?
Vaibhavi.
Yes, Vaibhavi. Very good. Very good. Good answer. 118 elements are there total. Inorganic chemistry deals with their combination. Lot of scope is there for their combination. Out of those 118, if you take one element which is in the group 14, that's a carbon, and its compound with hydrogen, with nitrogen, with oxygen, with halogen, like different combinations are there. That only one element, majority I'm saying, that chemistry we say as organic chemistry, and other than that, if it is in there, then that will be there inorganic chemistry. And whatever that chemistry is there, those elements are there, those we are dividing in these three parts, three types: main group, transition series element, and inner transition series element. Out of that, the main group element about which we are focusing, mainly we are studying main group elements. Let us know exactly what is the study. It's a paper 2, unit 2. Yes, see, comparative chemistry of main group elements. In that, the first point is there: metallic and non-metallic nature. Those elements are with metallic characteristic or non-metallic characteristic. What is that metallic characteristic mean? Accordingly, non-metallic characteristic mean. How does it vary? What is a periodic trend for that metallic and non-metallic characteristic that we are studying in this point? What is the reason for that variation in the metallic and non-metallic characteristic? That also we will learn. So if you come across the element in the periodic table, then you will understand this element will be with more metallic character relative to other, relative to predecessor, relative to the element which is above that element. That idea you will be with if you carry some notion regarding the metallic character. You know the idea about the metallic character. There is a region where only non-metals are there in the periodic table. But as we move from top to bottom, that metallic character increases. Or if we move from the left to right in the periodic table, means from your point of view, left to right in the periodic table, the non-metallic character increases. So what exactly that metallic and non-metallic character is, that we are going to study. And it's a very important point, because if you know their basic nature, then you will understand the reactions, number one. And second, in future, when you will go in the area of research, in order to know what kind of reaction is possible or feasible, prediction of the reaction, you should know their basic funda. You should know their basic behavior. And for that, this basic behavior, that's a metallic and non-metallic behavior, is included in syllabus. One example that I give it to you: sodium or potassium or calcium or magnesium. These are the main group elements. These are, will you answer for my question, metals or non-metals? These are metals or non-metals? What are the examples that I had given to you? Sodium, potassium, or calcium, magnesium. These are metals or non-metals? Yes?
Metals.
Yes, absolutely, metals. And if you see their behavior or even name also, you will find interesting things. See, sodium, IUM, potassium, IUM, calcium, IUM, magnesium, IUM, lithium, IUM, scandium, IUM. Actually, scandium is a D block element. Scandium is not coming in the main group. But just I'm talking about the metal. For that, just I said. Students, are you following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
IUM.
Yes, sir.
So that's a
Yes, sir.
learning of language of chemistry. Brilliant, brilliant.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, very good. Go on replying. It's a learning of language, chemistry. So IUM, it itself says it is a metal. It itself says it tends to behave like positive ion, cation, Na plus, K plus, Li plus, Ca plus 2. Ca plus will not be there. Why? We'll come to that. Interesting points are there. Magnesium plus 2. Scandium, if I say scandium plus 3. So such things are there. It means those are metals. Miss Shelter, it doesn't mean IUM is not there, then that will not be the metal. For example, copper, we say cuprum, or iron, we say ferrum. IUM is not there, but UM is there. Or if you say manganese, Mn, IUM is not there, but it is what? Metal. Simply say gold. Gold, IUM is not there, but it is a metal. But it's a name. Gold has other Latin name. And there, whatever the prefix that we desire is there. You will work on that point and then you will answer my question. But students, I want to inform one interesting point of metallic and non-metallic characteristic you are going to study. About metals, I had a little discussion. If you come to the non-metals, will anybody answer any non-metal? Any?
Attention, please.
One, two non-metal. Any non-metal?
Mercury, lead.
Mercury, lead, no, student. No. Other to the right side of the periodic table. Mercury, lead, those are there in the near middle portion of the periodic table.
Hydrogen, chlorine,
Okay, nitrogen, chlorine,
chlorine,
oxygen, sulfur, whatever.
Carbon.
Right. So the right side elements are there. Yes, those are the right side and upside elements are there. Those are with, yes, carbon, right. Selenium, somebody said selenium, tellurium, those have some different kind of metalloid scatter also is there. Those have both characters. As like in zoology, you say, amphibian species. They can live in water also and they can live in the soil also, on the soil also. Likewise, here those can show the metallic character and can show the non-metallic character also. As like creek region remains. We can't say exactly it is the region of the ocean. We can't say exactly region of the river. It's a mixing region. So mixed properties also do remain for the elements. Those metals remain. But I'm happy to know you all students. At least you pronounce those names means those foreigners. Each element is a foreigner. Foreigner means those names are not habitual for us. No? Few names are there. Regularly we use them. So about which we are knowing, but those we do not know regularly, for that we have to work to know them. But it's a very good thing that I am noting from your batch that you are familiar about the many elements. It's brilliant. And you should be familiar with all elements. All elements perfectly we are not using, but why should be afraid for that language? If you want to learn any language, be bold. Be courageous. So chemistry has one language and that language starts with the elemental name of the elements for that periodic table, and remembering the names and atomic number of those elements. I think somebody has asked the question and I told that I will give the videos. Yes, those videos will start. Video series will start from next week and you have to work with those all elements in the periodic table. Don't get afraid for those periodic table. Let it be the gadolinium, let it be the terbium, let it be the wolfram, or we say the tungsten. So all those elements for which you have to work. So when you will work on these elements, then the names you will come to know. The many said chlorine, fluorine, carbon, nitrogen. In such cases, the IUM is not there. This is a number one thing. And other answer for my question, student, if I consider ion of the chlorine, as per your now common sense, as per your general knowledge, what is the name of ion of the chlorine? Means chlorine, if it takes one electron, then one formula will be there. That formula, yes, what's the formula for chlorine? If it takes one electron, chlorine atomic number is 17. Means 17 electrons are there in the chlorine at the basic ground level. But if this chlorine accepts one electron, then that chlorine will form which species? When chlorine will accept one electron, that chlorine will convert to, help me please, one electron is added in the chlorine atom. What will be the formula? For example, sodium, that I given example, and if you remove electron from the sodium,
Na
what
plus.
were you getting? Na
Na
plus,
plus.
right? Now, here, I want your help.
Chlorine Cl
Chlorine has
minus.
right, Cl minus. Now, I want one more answer. What's the name of that? Cl minus means
Chloride.
right, chloride. Likewise, if I consider oxygen minus 2 charge to complete the octet, to complete the nearest noble gas configuration, O minus 2, the name oxide, IDE. Likewise, now again I need your help. If I take nitrogen,
Attention, please.
then that nitrogen will
Attention.
take how many electrons?
Keep going.
Nitrogen atomic number is 7 and nearest noble gas atomic number is 10. That's a neon. 7 and 10. How much difference is there? Those many electrons it will take. 7 and 10. How much difference?
3.
Right. So N minus 3. What is it? Nitride. Are you finding anything common in these names? Chloride, oxide, and
IDE
nitride.
is
Any
common.
common?
IDE.
IDE.
Right, sorry, IDE, here IDE is common. That IDE indicates negative ion, IUM indicates positive ion. Yes, it's a language of chemistry. Are you understanding language of chemistry?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And
Yes,
with
sir.
that we are proceeding. Yes, with that we are proceeding
sir.
our understanding. Okay. Now metals and non-metals, fundamental basic idea we have studied. After that, we are studying oxidation states. These elements are not folded handed. They are reactive. They combine with other element. They combine with other atoms and molecules or ions. And during their combination, what chemistry occurs or reaction occurs, it is adhered with, I repeat, whatever the chemistry is there, whatever the chemical reactions are there, whatever the transformations are there, whatever the conversions are there, may sodium gets converted to sodium ion Na plus, chlorine get converted to chloride ion Cl minus, oxygen gets converted to oxide ion O minus 2. Nitrogen gets converted to N minus 3. Everywhere you will find there is a game of, there is a sport of, there is an event of. Something is lost, something is gained, or something is shared. Sharing, losing, gaining. With that chemistry wonders. That what sharing? Who's the sharing? Will anybody answer? If covalent bond, then there's a sharing of dash. If there's a ionic bond or electrovalent bond, then one species will lose dash and other species will gain dash. If there's a coordinate bond, then one of the species called ligand, it will donate lone pair of dash. What is that dash?
Electrons.
Exactly, you're a brilliant student. Electrons is a game of electron. If this electron is lost, then you will get positively charged ion as like Na plus. If electron is gained, then you will get negatively charged ion as like nitride, as like oxide, as like chloride. What is that plus 1? It is the oxidation state of sodium. What is this minus 3? Oxidation state of nitrogen. What is minus 2? Oxidation state of oxygen. What is minus 1? Oxidation state of chlorine. So what is that oxidation state? With a different example we are going to study. Just I am giving brief introduction so that ideas will be clear to you. And I complete this discussion of oxidation states by one example. The life on earth, or what we say the one chemical as a life. What is that chemical?
Water.
What chemical is there? Yes, please reply.
Water.
Water, brilliant. What's the formula of water?
H2O.
H2O.
Good,
H2O.
good. It is our molecule, but in that molecule, hydrogen carries one charge, and that charge is plus 1. Answer for my question. Oxygen carries one charge. What is the charge on oxygen? Charge, formal charge, beared by that element in a compound. Hydrogen carries plus 1 charge. Such how many hydrogens are there?
Minus 2.
Right, and already I discussed, no? Oxide. Hydrogen oxide means what? Water. Dihydrogen oxide means what? Water.
Attention,
Or
please.
hydride of the oxygen, you can say, also can say as it was the water. Okay, fine. So oxidation state means what? Just I introduced it to you, that we are going to study in this topic. Afterwards, we are studying electronegativity. See, these are the behaviors of the atoms with which we are understanding molecules and reactions. Now just I had given you the example of water, oxygen you can consider at the center, and these two hydrogens. Likewise, you can represent the water. But whatever this bond is there between oxygen and hydrogen, it is a covalent bond. But that covalent bond is whichever is due to sharing, that sharing is not equal. The unequal sharing is there because tendency remains different even while traveling. Suppose you are traveling through the bus and the common seat is there where two passengers or three passengers could able to sit. There remains a tendency of few. Tendency I'm saying. How far they are fat and not, that's a different one. Tendency, they will occupy more space. Means what? Suppose a person is thin, even though what person will behave as if like wants more space. He will take his bag, other bag, he will keep nearby and will sit like a king. Means he wants the more space. It is his general nature. Don't take it individually or scopingly, just for understanding purpose. So every person remains with nature. Likewise, every element remains with nature. That nature is regarding the sharing. That shit is to share, no? But that sharing remains unequal if different elements are there, different mentality elements are there, or atoms of different elements are there. So oxygen and hydrogen. Answer for my question. Among these two elements, which two elements I am discussing here? One is oxygen and other is hydrogen. Among these two elements, who is greedy for electron? Who is more hungry for the electron? Who has more tendency to take electron more towards itself? Yes, please.
Oxygen.
Oxygen.
Yes, very good. So that bond pair, what is there, will not be equally shared. Oxygen will love more electron. That loving towards electron or gaining the electron, not complete gain. It is just the partial gain that is measured by means of one property. And that property is electronegativity. So electronegativity of different element is different. That we are discussing. And in paper 1 also you might have come across 3 methods of determination of electronegativity you might have studied. Yes, will anybody help me? Which were the 3 methods of determination of electronegativity? Yesterday I discussed. Total 27 methods are there. But out of that you are going to study only 3 methods. Any one method if anybody said, I will be most happy. If you could not recall, I help you to recall. There's a name of one scientist whose one rule is there, which is helped for electronic configuration. To write electronic configuration, we consider 3 rules. One rule, that's a Boole principle. Second rule, Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Likewise, third rule is there, and in that rule there's a name of that scientist. And that scientist method is there for determination of electronegativity.
Hund's rule.
Hund's law I told student. Hund's law I mentioned here. Other than that, Boole principle, Hund's law, and one more rule is there.
Pauli.
Yes, Pauli's exclusion principle. Students, have you heard this name or not? Pauli's exclusion principle.
Yes, sir.
Yes, good. I was interested in that name. Brilliant. Who had answered this question? May I know the name, please?
Manthan.
Manthan, brilliant. See, Pauling's method of determination of electronegativity is one.
Attention, please.
Second, Mulliken's method.
Market going down.
Actually, Hunt and Mulliken go together, means their theories and their work goes together. But we say as a Mulliken's method. And third one, Alfred Rochow method. These methods of determination of electronegativity you are studying in paper 1, and whatever you are studying there, you are studying application portion here in this. Means for main group you are applying that concept of electronegativity. Students, are you following what I am saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Brilliant. See the next point. We are studying anomalous behavior of the second period elements. Second period means if you see the periodic table, in the first group, first element is hydrogen. Below that, there is a second element, lithium. Means I'm talking about this group. Sorry, this period. I'm talking about second period. If you think about the second group, there the element is beryllium. What is the atomic number of the lithium? It is 3. For beryllium, it is 4. After us, gap is there actually. Transition series elements are there. And then these other elements are there. I want your help, student. I want answer from you for the element whose atomic number is 5.
Boron.
Yes, it's a boron. Element with atomic number 6.
Carbon.
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 Right. Element with atomic number 7.
Nitrogen.
Nitrogen.
Element with
Nitrogen.
atomic number 8.
Oxygen.
Oxygen.
Yes, now help me last. Element with atomic number 9.
Fluorine.
Yes. Brilliant. All you are brilliant. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. all these elements belong to second period, and these elements behave somewhat differently compared to other elements present in those groups in the periodic table. Little differently they do behave, and the difference is called as different behavior, strange behavior is called as anomalous behavior. So anomalous behavior of lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine individually in detail you are going to study in this point of the syllabus. So if I have to sum up till now what we have discussed, first we understood how the variations of the characteristic or nature of the elements, whether they like to give electron like sodium or potassium or calcium or in general metal, or they love to take electron like a fluorine to form F minus, oxygen to form oxide, nitrogen to form nitride, whether they are metals or non-metals, that we are studying at the beginning. Then we are studying their actual nature in the compound, what charge they do bear, positive charge, how much positive, negative, and how much negative, is there variation of the oxidation state or not, that we'll study in that oxidation state topic. Then we are studying the electronegativity point. If they are forming the compounds, means say the covalent compounds, then the electron distribution remains unequal, and if unequal is, then what is the reason for that electronegativity. So with examples we will discuss the electronegativity and its variation. And now just I told to you, the second period elements are strange, they are different compared to elements in the same group. What is their strangeness? What is their the different behavior? What is their anomalous behavior? That we are going to study. After that, important property that we are studying, that's allotropy. Maybe in organic chemistry you have studied this point, but not only for carbon, for other elements these things are more applicable.
Attention, please.
Allotropy
Going up.
is a property of only few elements. Every element is not showing the allotropic behavior. Students, will you help me? Which are the allotropes of carbon? Which are the allotropes of carbon?
Graphite,
Diamond, graphite, and
fluorine,
fluorine.
Yes,
C60.
I help you.
C6.
First one, it is a carbon black. Second one, that you can consider graphite. You have answered already. Third one, diamond. And fourth one, yes, fullerene. Very interesting point it is. As like football or soccer ball remain, likewise of 60 carbon atom, only and only carbon atoms to combine and form one large football kind of structure. And those footballs come together and form new kind of the representation. Those are called as fullerenes. It's called buck fullerene. Soccer ball or football is the best example. Yes, do you know the football? There you will find the pentagons and hexagons on the football. So at every corner of that pentagon or hexagon, you have to place the carbon, and with which whatever the football of the carbon will obtain, that and their combination is called as fullerene. If you think about diamond, what diamond is? Carbon only. Interesting. See, in diamond, only and only carbon is there. Only network is different. Only representation different. Only structure is different. Yes, I highlight structural arrangement. If there is a difference in structural arrangement, drastically, physical property changes. Chemistry point of view, diamond also is same, graphite also is same, and carbon black also same, fullerene also is same. But from physical appearance and property point of view, drastic difference you will find in the allotropes. But chemistry, I said that is all the same, but from the element point of view, because to obtain an elemental carbon for the reaction from diamond, we need more kind of energy rather than getting a carbon from the carbon black or getting the carbon from the graphite. So it depends. Energetics depends. Again, energetics is a part of the physical aspect, physical property. Okay, I'd like you have studied that carbon. Likewise, a few elements from the main group, especially p block element. P block means, just for understanding purpose I am informing to you. They show few allotropes. So which elements are there? They show allotropes. Which are their allotropes? That we are going to study in this allotropy. And this syllabus is wisely designed. We have added this point called catenation. Actually, catenation is a tendency of an element to have a friendship with the same element or atom of the same element. It's a tendency. Every element has not a good tendency as like of carbon. Carbon has a good tendency of catenation. Therefore, we are finding long chain organic compounds. Polymers and all that we find is a different task, additional task. But it is because of what? It is because of catenation. So catenation is a base. And because of catenation also allotropy is possible. For example, whatever you are saying here, that is a graphite. Yes, will you help me? That graphite, in that graphite, carbon undergoes which hybridization? In graphite, carbon undergoes which hybridization? Actually, it's sp2 hybridization. sp2, planar. As like the fan, blades of the fan remain in one plane, like as a plane of graphite remain. And that one plane can glide or slide over the other plane. So the cis, we say the lead pencil, generally with cis pencil, lead pencil. That lead pencil means when we put the mark on the paper, at that time layer of that carbon, actually it's not a lead is a toxic, but legacy of lead is there. Therefore we're saying now in market whatever you find, those are the lead pencils. Those are not made of lead, those are made of graphite. And what is the property of graphite? A layer can slide over the other layer. So when you write, then that layer will be on the paper, other layer will be the new layers you can form. So smooth writing, as if like somebody is throwing the ink from the that lead pencil, that you will what? Realize. So that graphite possesses the sliding of the layers, and it is because of the sp2 hybridization. If we come to the diamond, a carbon undergoes sp3 hybridization. The network changes, structure changes, property change. And in case of fullerene, mixed hybridization is there, and it forms a cluster of the carbons. So different kind of arrangement is there, and that different kind of arrangement and linking between the carbon, as an example, is due to its catenation property. So wherever there is a more and more catenation property, chances are there good quality of allotropes, good variety of the allotropes that we can find. Sulfur is one of the other example. Phosphorus is also the example where catenation property is good one. And wherever catenation property is good one, polymerization also may what possible in what future. So we can think about that. We can work about that. And therefore, specifically, this point is added in your syllabus. Is called catenation. Now see the next point. That's a diagonal relationship between the few elements. Only 3 pairs are there, diagonally situated, about which we are discussing. Now I want your help. Here few elements are there in front of you. Below beryllium, which element is there? Below beryllium. Beryllium atomic number is 4.
Magnesium.
Brilliant. Who had answered this question?
Purva.
Yes, Purva. Brilliant. So lithium and magnesium, they are diagonally situated. An interesting point we are noting here, their properties resemble to each other. They are showing some similar properties. They resemble each other diagonally. They are allocated, situated diagonally, and they behave in the same manner, somewhat same manner. So they have some relation. Group relations are there. In a family, group is like one family. But between 2 families also relation may not possible, but these relations are diagonal relation. Diagonally they are situated. Therefore, the pair of lithium and magnesium we will study as a one pair for diagonal relationship. Likewise, student, I need your help. The element below boron, means magnesium atomic number is 12. After that, the element below boron.
Aluminium.
Yes, who had answered? Manthan?
Tejas Gowde, sir.
Tejas, very good. Tejas. Yes, beryllium and aluminium, they are also diagonally situated. So it's a second pair where diagonal relationship we are studying. Now I want to know who can answer the next element. After aluminium, there is a one element. Yes, help me.
Silicon.
Yes, who had answered?
Purva.
Yes, Purva. Good. Boron and silicon, they are diagonally situated. So in this point, that's a diagonal relationship. You are studying diagonal relationship between lithium and magnesium. Listen carefully. Beryllium and aluminium. And last pair, boron and silicon. So why do they behave diagonally, or why do they resemble in their property? That we are what? Studying in the diagonal relationship. Is it clear? Yes, students, are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
sir.
Now, industry point of view,
Yes, sir.
few chemicals are important and their studies. For example, carbides, nitrides, oxides, and hydroxides of only group 1 and group 2. Group 1 and group 2 studying. One interesting example that I give it to you. We were discussing in detail, but now just out of curiosity, I give you that one example. Have you heard that somebody lightened the lamp on water? using water. Have you seen that magic or demo where water is added? Truly, water is added and lamp gets
Yes, sir.
lightened. It's the magic of chemistry. Actually, magic means what? Science remain behind that. We remains unaware about that. Therefore, we feel as if like it is a magic. See, carbon black is different, graphite different, diamond is different, fullerene is different. It's a magic of nature. It's a magic of chemistry. So chemistry is with lot many magics, and those magics you are studying none other than reactions. So what happens there when the water, you find water burns, when you take any carbide, say calcium carbide, and with calcium carbide, CaC2 or CaC, this reacts with water to produce gases like acetylene or ethylene or acetylene. As like you can burn our LPG gas. LPG gas means, yes, can anybody answer in LPG gas which component remains, which chemical remains to more extent, methane or butane? Yeah, I help you. There remains a butane. And if you take a biogas, there remains a methane in more quantity. And as like methane and butane is combustible. Combustible means they can burn. Likewise, acetylene and ethylene also can burn. And reaction means exothermic. Because for fire, what is necessary? Temperature is necessary. Reaction is exothermic. Because of that, you are getting temperature. What is necessary to continue that? Oxygen is necessary. And that open air is there, oxygen is available. And what is necessary? One spark is necessary. Because of that heat, if any combustible thing you keep, then spark also can be what? Generated. Or even if you bring a light or lighter, one spark, or if you take a matchsticks and ignite that matchsticks and bring nearby, you will find that a gas, acetylene and ethylene, will catch fire. So those gases do evolve. As soon as you add water, those gases do evolve. So hidden things remain there, carbides. In that, if any water is added, a gas will evolve, and just you light that by means of matchsticks, you will find that a gas will burn. So we will feel as if like water is burning. In true sense, acetylene and ethylene do what the burns. So it's a magic because of carbides, nitrides. These carbide nitrides are hard also, tough. I think diamond is tough, no? Likewise, the hardness also do remain. And many hydroxides are there, sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, lithium hydroxide. Their comparison of their hydroxide strength that we will understand in this point. Afterwards, few important chemicals or compounds from industry point of view you are studying. In that, the first compound is sodium bicarbonate. Will anybody inform me what sodium bicarbonate is? What is the other name of sodium bicarbonate?
Baking soda.
Yes, it is called as baking soda or eating soda. Other example, sodium carbonate. What it is?
Washing soda.
Yes, it is a washing soda. Means detergents. It's a powders they do remain with the, I'm not saying complete only sodium carbonate, but sodium carbonate is the major content of that. All are basic in nature. Sodium bicarbonate also is a basic in nature. Means if acidity problem takes place, acidity. See how interesting things are there. How blindly we follow. If acidity problem remains, then it is recommended. That's a antacid. But sodium bicarbonate is not recommended antacid. But one can use that. Means suppose if you take a eating soda and if you take, then automatically what happens? Extra acidity because of extra acid generated in the stomach. That extra acid can be neutralized by means of the sodium bicarbonate. But it is not a recommended in the sense, it is not a mild as such, no, because gas also fastly generates there. But relief one can what get. So what to take? Soda is to take. Common name, soda. Therefore, what people do take? Soda whichever they get in the market, no, that they take. Will anybody answer what remains in that soda which you get in the market? It's a chemistry student. Life is made up of chemistry. Yes, whatever the soda, if you go to the market and if I ask you to bring soda from the market, then you will bring the Kinley. So Kinley is one brand, and of that brand, suppose if you brought a soda or local brand soda available, you can bring that soda. It's a colorless solution. That's a soda. Remains with what? That's my question. Or if I ask you to you prepare soda, then what will you do? Yes, please help me.
Carbonated water.
Right. Carbonated means, will you simplify that? Carbonated means which gas is there? Carbonated means which gas is there?
CO2.
Yes, CO2. Means you only, suppose carbon cylinders remain. If you go visit any cold drink or ice cream parlor, cold drink house or ice cream parlor, then you will find the cylinders. Cylinders of whom? Carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide, if you mix with water, you will get one acid that is called as carbonic acid. And that carbonic acid is none other than soda. One of you rightly answered it is a carbonated water. Means carbonic acid. Means see, we want this soda, Marathi soda, baking soda, eating soda. sodium bicarbonate. So people are carrying which notion? That soda, which is the carbonic acid. And they take that soda. Why for? To get rid from, to overcome from the problem of acidity. And to our surprise, they get relief. Yes, now I taken soda, so I will get relaxed. So the problem will not be there. Do you know what they did actually? Problem is of acidity. Acid secretion is more. Acid content is more in the stomach, and they are adding furthermore acid. If they would have take this sodium bicarbonate, means it's a solution, then the case is different. Students, are you following what I am saying? Is there any sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, good.
Yes, sir.
But don't go on only this general my explanation. So is it? Or this cocum also is used, but there's a difference. Buffer is a one concept. I think if you take blood, no, blood also remains with one pH. If you take a milk also remains with one pH. pH changes, milk will convert to the curd. Like as pH maintenance is important and is maintained. It can be acidic, it can be basic, and those can help to maintain that pH. So buffers can be also added. So the cocum that we use, maybe it is somewhat the Sorin test, but even though it works as what antacid because of the other ingredients. That's the chemistry. That's the understanding of science, and with which we have to proceed. And for that, such few chemicals are included in syllabus like sodium bicarbonate, sodium carbonate, and our simple table salt. That's a sodium chloride, sodium hydroxide, calcium oxide. The elders, they do use frequently in order to have the more amount of calcium, more intake of calcium. And in the sea life, a lot of remain, that's the calcium content, calcium carbonate plus oxides of carbon, oxides and oxacids of sulfur and nitrogen. So you are discussing, say if I take sulfur, then the SO2 or SO3, and accordingly the acid formed from them, acid concept might be known. So it is related to the environmental aspect. Therefore, it is strictly mentioned, see, with respect to environmental aspect, oxides of sulfur. So there are two phenomena mainly do come in the environmental aspect. Only just students, only 1 minute because my time is over actually, but I am continuing for little time. Shall I or not?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, please. Okay. So there, photochemical smog, it is one environmental term, and other term, acid rain. Main sufferer or effect is there on Taj Mahal. So what is that photochemical smog and acid rain? Those points we have to study from environmental point of view. This is our syllabus for paper 2 unit 2. My objective today was to describe this syllabus, let you know this syllabus, let you know the scope of the syllabus. So I discussed these things here. Students, I want to know the feedback from you, the way with which we are proceeding, way with which I am explaining. Are you understanding? Do you feel that you are learning?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, brilliant students. So my point was there to discuss those things I did. Now it is your turn. If you have any question as such, you can ask. Otherwise, next time be with the question. So I want that preferably the Tuesday should be for our paper 1, and Wednesday means today, second lecture, that should be for paper 2, so that we can cover our syllabus. And by the way, remember, our regular lecture series will be there. If you want, I should start at next week, I will start at next week. Regular lectures. Regular means what? Daily one video will be there, except Sunday. From Monday to Saturday, 6 days videos will be there, by which I am going to cover that the paper 1 syllabus, some syllabus. I want assignment completion. If you want some time, let us start next week. I have no problem. Before that, complete this current assignment. So what you want? Shall we start regular short video series from next week or right from this week?
From this week, sir.
Yeah, I said from this week. Brilliant. I want first 3 answers. Whatever the majority, I will follow that.
From this week, sir.
Brilliant. Here is a majority. Because I was waiting for the 3, 2 are over. Was whatever is third answer. So from this week, I'll give. So today there will be the short video for you. Those videos will be regarding periodic table understanding. Those videos will be regarding the structure of atom understanding. One day video of periodic table, other day structure of atom. Periodic table, structure of atom. Periodic table, structure of atom. Likewise, and later on only the structures of atoms will be there. Likewise, the distribution will be there, and that video series will start from tomorrow, daily you have to complete the assignment. It is my expectation. And I want up to next week, means next Tuesday, 4 assignments everybody should complete. Up to lecture number 4, means only 3 assignments will be there. Those at least you have to complete. And other assignments, next week I will give the target to you. Stepwise, let us proceed. So students, shall I declare that today's lecture is over?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, student, then I stop the recording and I declare here today's session, today's lecture